Hi folks, welcome to the Broken Meeple, and this is the shelf by shelf video review that I said I was going to do. Now, hopefully the audio will be good for the first few episodes because I'm having to try and link up my mobile phone to my Rode microphone I use for my normal videos, and apparently it's all about cables. You need like USB-C to audio 3.5, and then my phone doesn't have 3.5, so you get that adapter, and then it's got to be TRS to TRRS, which I don't have the right port to stick into the USB adapter, and it's just, oh, for crying out loud. So I'm piecing that together, but hopefully it's a Samsung S20 Plus, so hopefully the microphone's decent enough anyway, and with some post-editing trickery, I can do wonders. So without further ado, as I've got some time off work, let's actually go through these shelves. You guys have seen most of my shelves in the videos that I do, but that's in the other room. So what you haven't seen is this room. This is effectively my study, where I've got my PC, gaming PC, and accounting stuff and textbooks and recipe books over there. But this is another shelf of games that you just don't tend to see. And recently I reorganized my games into a semi-order. I didn't put alphabetical or all that nonsense, but I did try to keep publishers kind of with each other so that I didn't have, like, for example, here you can see there's two here by Garfield and Renegade Game Studios. I tried to keep them together and not across all the way. So I'm just going to go through each space in each video, and some videos are going to be longer and shorter than others purely because there's a lot more games on this shelf than there is on, say, that shelf. But, you know, hopefully you'll enjoy this series. You've requested it, and I figured I would get it done anyway. So, without further ado, the first square of many, shall we say. So, let's start off simple. Why are these even here? Well, this one is mainly here because I only just bought it. Silver and Gold is a roll and write where I'm hesitant as to whether I'm going to keep it or not. It's basically Cartographer's Light. You've got dry erase cards, you flip a card, you draw on your little map cards, fill in the spaces and get points. That's pretty much all it is, and it's fine. But I'm not desperate for it. Maybe I'll do a review on it at some point. You know, I'm running out of review ideas at the moment, so if you guys want me to do a review of this, I will. But yeah, it's just kind of there because of the space, really. So, Oriflamme. Now, this one's a little bit different. Oriflamme is a little filler game where you have a row of cards and you put them out in turn order, but the order in which they resolve from left to right has you flipping cards or choosing not to flip them to trigger abilities. And the more you can keep a card hidden, the more points it accumulates. Some trap cards and such. It's a cool little filler intrigue game that just surprised me, really. Studio H is brand new. They've only just started, and you know, if this, and I have yet to try Alibari, but you know, hopefully the studio could do some wonders, really, because this one is literally a 20 to 25 minute filler that will do the job as a nice little intro bluffing game. Let's see, Cockroach Poker. Yes, love myself some Cockroach Poker. Simple bluffing game, just pass them a card, and they have to say whether you're lying, telling the truth, or look at it and pass it on. Simple, quick fun, but this is the only one of this whole, like, vermin set of games, whatever it is, dry magic or spiel. This is the only one I like, Cockroach Poker. I know friends who despise this, but personally, I just find it hilarious fun. There's no winner, there's just one loser. Everybody just gets into the bluffing aspect, and I just have a blast with this one. San Juan. This one is my version of Race for the Galaxy, and even my version of Puerto Rico, basically. Out of those three games, this is the one I pick. It still has that Race for the Galaxy kind of rule where there's different phases, and if you take the phase, you get a bonus, but everyone else gets to do the action. So it's still got that aspect, and I think that's more prominent in Puerto Rico than Race in the way it works here. But this is just a great, simple game. The deck of cards you've got is the same. It basically comprises everything. Resources, the buildings, your currency, everything is just that same deck of cards. It's straight up simple. You just build buildings, get cool abilities, get bonuses, try to build, I think it's like 12 buildings or so, and then total up the points. But there's different ways to score. You can go rush tactics, you can go for expensive. You've got production things like coffee, tobacco and that, where you can get more cards from the deck. You go through that deck so ridiculously fast it's unreal, and yet I haven't even sleeved the game. It is kind of like the lighter version of Race of the Galaxy and Puerto Rico put together. And personally, I think it's the better of the three. Let's move on to, let's start with Renegade here. Raikholt. Now this one, it's touch and go how long it will be in the collection for, because this is on the bottom end, but I still like this game. This is underrated. Bit too expensive, I admit. But this is Uwe Rosenberg Light. You essentially have, like, these greenhouses, and you're farming like carrots and cabbages and stuff like that to feed tourists. It's not a points game. It is a race game. You're racing. Well, it's basically who gets the furthest along the track by the end. So there's no points in a sense. I suppose you could argue it's the same thing, whatever. But it's simple worker placement. Put your workers out, get the greenhouses, put the veg in it, get the veg out, and feed it to the tourists. It is like his other games, like Caverna and Fields of Arle and all those farming games that you know where Rosenberg 4. But this is simple and light. Says in the box 30 to 60 minutes. That's pretty optimistic, but you're still looking at about 60 minutes to 75 minutes for a 2 to 3 player game. An hour and a half tops for a 90-minute game. It's a shortish, quick bit of fun. It's easy to teach, it looks nice, the components are good, and it just gives me that same farming feel without needing 3 hours of my day, you know. Streamlining is good. Try and use it, people. Okay, let's move on to Garfield Games / Renegade Games. Architects of the West Kingdom, my current favourite of the Garfield Games line. So, you know, they did... Well, let's stick with this one for now. West Kingdom. We've had this one and Paladins. Paladins used to be there. It's not anymore. Sorry, it's already flown... It's flown to another user because it's alright. I like it, but it's bone dry. It's very long. I don't want to play it with the full player count, and there's only like 3 paths to victory in it. It kind of just... it lost its flavour with me. This one I still love, though. Architects with that worker placement twist of you have all your workers, the actions get more powerful as you put workers out, but you don't get them back instantly. You have to go fetch them, or people can nick your workers and stick them in prison for money, and you have to go to prison to get them out. It's a cool little twist. But on top of that, it's just basically a simple worker placement game with the traditional boring medieval theme. But you're getting your apprentices with special abilities, you've got the buildings with different bonuses. It's just very streamlined. Works for 5 players, which is a horrible value in player count, but it works for 5 here. You've got player powers, the expansion Age of Artisans is in here, hence the box is just about staying shut. Looks gorgeous. It's a really cool package in a small box. I much prefer this to Paladins of the West Kingdom, but yeah, I don't know if Viscounts is going to make it any better, but this is one that I will happily get out and teach, even on Tabletopia. And then Raiders of the North Sea. Well, out of the first one, first trilogy was not as good. Explorers I didn't really like, and Shipwrights I wasn't a fan of either. This is my pick, and probably everybody's pick really. Raiders of the North Sea. This has both expansions in it, because this is one where, unlike Architects, you could play that one with no expansions, and that'd be fine. This one, I feel you need both expansions, or at least the first one, Hall of Heroes. You can get by without the Fields of Fame, I think it's called. But the base set is fine. I like it, but it was not going to make top 100 material for me. As soon as you put the expansions in, particularly both, it creates this massive sprawling game where it's, well, I mean, not massive and sprawling, but it gives you more options. You know, your raiders, you prepare in your village, you get your crew with special abilities, you go out and pillage all these various places for resources and points, etc. But with the expansions, you have other locations to visit, you have more places to pillage, you have the drink mead that you can get as a temporary strength boost, you've got other ways to score points with quests, and then with the next expansion, you've even got like chieftains that you can go up against, Jarls, where they, you know, they do damage to your crew, make them less effective, but you could kill them for glory, or you could recruit them to your crew for a cool bonus. It just adds a lot of cool stuff in here, and I've even got... Can I see it there? No, I'm not going to get it out for you, but I've got like the playmat for this. That goes like this whole map here, extended with extra bits on it. I've got the full playmat. Oh, it's gorgeous on the table, but really like this one once you beef it up. And then finally, an underrated game. This is one you really should check out if Carcassonne was to your liking. Small Islands for Mushroom Games. This is mostly in a different language, but you can get the English version. The English rules are in here, so it's fine. But this is Carcassonne-esque, where you're building up these cool little islands, like an archipelago. Looks gorgeous and really colourful. But there's symbols all over the island, and each round you choose an objective card that you're going to go for, which means completing islands with a certain amount of symbols on them. And what you do is, once the round ends, which could be variable because it comes down to a player triggering it, you end up putting these houses on the islands and score points based on your objective card. but your objective card will never be the same each round, and you might try and go for lots of small islands quickly, or you might build up one island for the game, knowing that later on you're going to use an objective you've been holding back in order to do well in. It's really neat. Still really simple, but it looks, in my opinion, I think better than the normal Carcassonne map. It's kind of like on par with the Carcassonne South Seas in that respect. But it's a neat twist on the Carcassonne mechanic, and I dare say it's a contender for replacing it. Honestly, check out my review of this. When did I do this one? Probably shortly after UK Games Expo, so probably summer last year in Season 3. Check out my review and see, because honestly, I fear this one's gone under the radar, and it should get more love. Right, one down, only another 16, 32, 47, oh god. This is going to take me a while, isn't it? Oh well, you requested it, and I'm a glutton for punishment, so yeah, that's one video done. I'll see you on the next Broken Meeple video, and remember, it's only a game. Oh boy.